I would really love for people to know who are going into new jobs, whether you have a disability or not, it is still, it's still going to
Normal to
be,
be nervous.
yeah,
Yeah.
you're still going to be nervous. I'd almost be concerned if somebody wasn't nervous because
Mhm.
being
Mhm.
nervous means you care. All right. Okay, so I'm here today with Marissa Hall. Marissa Hall's been a good friend of mine since we figured it out yesterday about 2019. And I met Marissa when I was working for another agency and I was running a cemetery gardening business for that agency. And thankfully, Marissa came along and she started working with us. And that's how I met you, right, Marissa?
Yes.
Yeah. So, and then COVID hit, and I won't tell a whole bunch of the story and stuff, but yeah, COVID hit, and then you started looking for alternative employment. So,
Yes.
okay. So Marissa, let's actually start with how old are you, Marissa?
I'm 31 years old. I just turned 31 last month.
All right, all right. Well, happy belated birthday. And
Thank you.
so you're welcome. So you, Marissa, you have a diagnosis, you have a disability. And
Yes.
what is your disability?
It's autism.
It's autism. Okay.
Yeah.
And when did you learn that you were on the spectrum?
I got diagnosed when I was in elementary school. I don't really know how old.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. So you weren't a baby, you were a bit older than that. And so you
Mm.
were, yep, you were diagnosed then. And then, so what has it been like for you growing up on the spectrum? Maybe before you learned or even after you learned, what's it been like for you?
Like I knew I was different when I started kindergarten.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You knew you were different when you started kindergarten. You were like, okay,
Yes.
I'm different than other kids. There's something that's a little bit
Yes.
different about me. Okay. And
Yes.
so would you say it's been easy for you to make friends? What's that been like for you?
In elementary school, I had no problem making friends. I had a lot of friends in elementary school.
Yeah.
High school is a different story.
Yeah, yeah. Things get a little more complicated in high school, right?
Yes.
Yeah, social interactions and stuff like that. All right. Okay. So here you are. You've been on the spectrum. So you went through high school and then you also went into a college program. Tell me about that. What did you take?
I went to Niagara College, in Niagara Lake,
Mhm.
and I went through a program called CICE, which is a community and
That's all right.
integration cooperative education.
Yep. Yep. Awesome. Awesome. Okay. You did that. And then you focused on horticulture while you were in that program. Is that right?
Yes, I joined their what was it?
Was it like a greenhouse there at Niagara College?
No, I didn't do the greenhouse. I was part of like their environmental team there.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Very good. And you
Yeah,
did
that was one of my placements, yes.
Oh, super. All right. Okay. And what other placement did you do?
And then I did landscaping with NTech.
Nice.
That's one of my programs, yeah. It was really
And did you
good.
like that?
Then my last, I did, oh yeah, I did, yeah.
And
Yeah.
um, so you went through,
And
you
then
go ahead. Go
yeah, and
ahead.
then my final placement was at Habitat at Humanity.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and then
Would you
like I continued that after I graduated college until I met you
yeah.
and got the job at gardening angels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was great. We were so glad to have you come on that year. So have you always had a love for gardening, landscaping, horticulture? Like you
Yes.
say that's like your thing.
Yes, because I took like landscaping and horticulture class back in high school,
Yeah.
and I really enjoyed it.
That's awesome. Good for you. Yeah, well, we were so glad when you came to join us. We were in desperate need, I think, at that time of a couple of waterers. And for
Yes.
those who don't know, if you're going to be out watering a lot of gardens at the cemetery, we would carry, gosh, you would carry two 3-gallon like
Yes.
watering cans, right?
Yes.
And so you would have one on either side. And I got to tell you, we always loved having Marissa on the team because you would also you would go the extra mile when you were done with your team on the one side. You always came over and helped us in the other
Yes.
side. And you did that with no problem.
No.
Yeah. And you've also even reached out
And
to
also
me.
even helped, yeah, even helped weed too. If somebody
That's right.
was
Yeah.
struggling with weeding, I helped weed too.
Yeah, you'd help weed. And you've reached
Yeah.
out to me and you've told me numerous times whenever I need help with my business, you are more
Yes.
than willing to help me, which I appreciate
Yeah,
so.
I can help you with your TikTok.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
I need to get on that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll have to talk with you about that for sure.
Yeah.
So then okay, so you worked with us and then COVID hits. And many
Yes.
people know that a lot of things kind of, went by the wayside. So
Halted. Yes.
we couldn't have you
You
guys come out
can.
anymore and work on the gardens, right? So then
Mhm.
you decide that you're going to start looking for another job.
In the meantime, yes.
Yep. In the meantime. And so at that point, I had went to a different job.
Yes.
And then so we're both like, you're trying to look for a job. I've left and gone to a different job. But the job that I took, I was then in a position that I could actually help you find a job.
Yes.
So that worked out
Yes.
nicely for us, right? Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then like after COVID, we were allowed to go back to watering, but we
Yes.
had
Yeah.
to safe distance to wear a mask and not wear a mask. And yeah.
Yeah. That's a good point. You continued.
Yeah, I
That's probably,
continued for like a year and a half before I got the job that I'm at now.
yeah, which is pretty cool. Then you were like, okay, I'm going to look for a job. And then you came and we connected. And then
Yes.
you started your job search. So, okay, so then you start your job search. And what was it like for you to be thinking about job searching?
It was like nerve-wracking at first,
Yeah, yeah,
trying
right.
to see trying to see what job will fit me the most.
Yeah. Is
Yeah.
that what concerned you the most? Wondering, like, what job will suit me the most? Um,
Yes.
like, yeah, okay. So will the employer be helpful? Will they be kind? Will they be patient? Were those
Yes.
things that were on your mind? Okay. Yeah. Right. So that's like a big deal. Okay, where am I going to go? Am I going to feel comfortable and safe there? Okay.
Yes.
So then we start job searching. And I remember you saying that one of your concerns was also about going for an interview.
Yes.
Would have been like, and what do you think was making you nervous about going for an interview?
It's the bunch of questions that they usually ask you during an interview.
Yeah. Yeah, like that tell me about yourself one.
So yeah, it's like, what do I exactly say? Like, it was
Yeah.
a bit
Where do you
confusing.
start? Yeah,
Yeah,
where
where
do
do
you
you
start
start?
with tell
Yeah.
me about yourself? I don't know,
Yeah.
right? So like,
Yeah.
and then, and so I think you were saying what helped you. Well, actually, so here I am, I'm working with you, and we were in a position that I could actually come with you to the interview.
Yes.
And so did you find that helpful? What was that like for you?
Yes, it was very helpful for you to be there in case like I needed help answering a question.
Yeah, yeah. So you wouldn't have to be as nervous.
Mm,
You would answer the
yeah,
questions to the best of your
person.
ability. If I recall, I
Yes,
think you did really well. Um,
yes, I did.
but it was just comforting to you to know that, okay, I have Erica here just in case.
Yes,
Yeah, that's good. Okay. So then you go for this interview at your job that you're at right now. You go for that interview. And then I remember you learned on that day that they were going to hire you. You had a new job.
yes.
Yeah. And it happened pretty quickly for you. I feel
It
like
did.
right? When we started looking and then we put your resume out and it
Mhm.
was okay once we started looking. And then so you get this job and now once you were told you had the job, what did you think?
It was like very exciting.
Yeah. Yeah. So you're really excited. And then all of a sudden, now you're like, oh my gosh, that means I have to go to work. Like I'm going to work.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah. And so what was that like for you to be thinking about going to your first day, your first couple of weeks? Tell me about that.
It was a little nerve-wracking because it was all new to me and I had absolutely no experience in cleaning
Mhm.
previously.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's normal, right? Like it's and you know that now too, like that it's normal. What I would really love for people to know who are going into new jobs, whether you have a disability or not, it is still it's still going to
Normal to
be you're
be
still gonna,
nervous.
yeah,
Yeah.
you're still going to be nervous. I'd almost be concerned if somebody wasn't nervous because
Mhm.
being
Mhm.
nervous means you care, that you want to do a good job, right?
Yes.
So, okay, so you're going on the job. Now, again, we had the opportunity that I actually got to be on the job with you for a short
Yes.
time. Yep.
Yes.
And so, did you find that helpful? Like, what was that like, knowing that somebody was going to be able to be with you?
Yes, I found that very helpful.
Yeah. And we
Yeah.
talked too, like, you didn't need somebody there. Some people might, but you didn't need somebody there to help you learn the tasks. You needed somebody
That's
there
right.
to
No.
help your supervisor and your team know how to best train you and support you.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So for example, I remember when we were there and there was one lady that you were working with and she was cleaning the bathroom and
Yes.
she or we had let her know that when you're with her cleaning the bathroom that she needs to tell you exactly what she wants you to do, right?
Yes.
And then you would be able to do it because
Yes.
I think it's really important for people to know that people who are on the spectrum, um, most, if not all, it's very helpful to have very clear directions.
Yes.
Yeah. Not really abstract, not really like, well, just do a little bit of this and
Mm.
a little bit of that.
No, you just have to be like, yeah,
Yeah.
you're
It's not
right.
really helpful, right? So it's like, it's kind of like that question, tell me about yourself. Well, there's so much to tell. What do you want to know? Right? Do you want to know how old I am, what my color my hair is, what my favorite color is?
Yeah.
So very specific.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, very specific. And so I think that's really important to know because um, it's not that somebody on the spectrum is being lazy. It's not that
No.
they are not trying to be helpful, right, Marissa?
Just yes.
Yeah,
It's just sometimes we don't know what to do if we're not giving like clear directions.
that's right. Yep. So that was helpful. You needed somebody to be there and say, look, Marissa wants to help you. She wants to be part of the team. She wants to be a great part of the team, but she needs to know exactly what she needs to do.
Yes.
All right. So, so here you are, and by the way, so now you just celebrated just over a year. Like you
First year,
celebrated,
yeah,
yeah,
my
one
first
year.
year, yeah, one
That's
year.
amazing. What do you remember the date? What was the date that you just celebrated a year?
January 5th.
January 5th. Well, congratulations to you. That's
Thank you.
awesome. That is so awesome. Now, I was only there about 3 or 4 times.
4 times, yeah, we
4 times?
discussed
Four
this
times.
at 4 times, yeah.
Okay. So I was there for 4 times. And since I left, I had not come back. I think you and I
No.
maybe talked once or twice, like through an email or
Ye-
something, but I
Yes,
hadn't
yeah.
come back. And so there's still been some growing for you in the time that you were there. Um,
Yes.
can you tell me about a time where you were feeling really stressed at work and what happened?
It was the time where we were short-staffed and I got overwhelmed because I thought like I had to do like everything,
Yeah, yeah,
but then I got help and now I know what to do if that happens again.
yeah. Good.
Yeah.
That would have been so overwhelming. And so what I think too is really important. First of all, I commend you so much for doing that, Marissa. Great job. Um, and actually I want to just go forward a little bit here and say, if that were to happen today, how would you handle that today? Like, I'm sure now if it happens, you're a lot more relaxed about it.
Yes, I just do what I can do.
That's great. That is so good. That's so good. What I love about your story, Marissa, is that that happened to you. You were overwhelmed, and then, but you still, you went back to work. You went back
I
to your
did, yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
And so, um, so like this might be a good time to bring in your mom actually because
Okay.
yeah, so like mom can join us. I will have a couple more questions for you, but mom can
Okay.
sit with us through that. Like mom can come and because hi angels.
Hello, Erica.
I'm so glad you're having this chat with us today. And so for those of you who are watching, this is Marissa's mom, Angels. And I remember meeting Angels a couple times when Marissa was coming out for Cemetery Gardening Angels when she first started working there with us. So that was so nice and nice to have you here now. So we were just talking about how when Marissa had stressful times on the job, and now those things are not nearly as stressful. Now she just handles them. But I think is really important. We know, as we talked about yesterday in our conversation before doing the interview, is that you were a critical part in helping Marissa deal with that stress when she came home and you helped her through that. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I'm her main support. She was just starting a new job, and just like anybody, there are days and there are times when you get overwhelmed because it's a situation that you have not been in before.
Yeah.
So not having that situation meant that you did not have the strategy
Yeah.
to deal with it.
Yeah.
So when we talk after her shift, we have a chance to discuss how the shift is going, how things went, and then we can, develop strategies together
Yeah.
for those times that are irregular. They're not
Great.
everyday situations. And Marissa has done wonderful that way. There hasn't been that many times when she's been overwhelmed, but we all get overwhelmed
Right.
when we have a new job.
Yeah.
So having a support person that is positive, I think, is very, very important.
That's great. I love that so much. I'm actually writing the process with this channel right now of developing a list of 30 tips for primary caregivers of people with disabilities who would like to secure employment. So that primary caregiver, like you're saying, being the main support, again, whether somebody has a disability or not, hopefully we all have that person that we can go to, especially after a new job, and somebody that can help us gain some perspective, and then somebody that can encourage us to go back and try again. Because I think that for some people, something like that may be catastrophic, and they may feel like, well, I failed. I obviously can't do it, and I won't go back. But this is what I love about this situation is that obviously, Marissa, you were there, you stuck it out on that really stressful day. And then you came home and mom and you chatted about it. And I'm really glad that you guys already have that relationship, because you obviously trusted mom, and you felt encouraged enough to go back. And then for you to see it, Angels, and go, okay, this is what we need to do. Because you could have done a couple of things. You could have coddled Marissa and said, yeah, maybe it's too stressful, right? And there is a time for that, but it's not necessarily right away. So yeah, you could have said, oh, maybe it's too stressful. Or you could have said, buck up, and just deal with it. But you saw, no, she needed the support and encouragement, and then to be able to move forward. So that's awesome. So I want you to stick around, Mom. Don't go far, because we're getting to you really quickly. But I just have a couple quick questions for Marissa. Marissa, what has your supervisor or your coworkers done that have been, do you think, the most helpful to you in supporting you through your job?
It's mainly like communication.
Yeah, good. All right, great.
Important.
Yeah, just communicating with you. Do you feel like they're patient? Your team is patient with each other, helping
Oh,
each other?
yes. Yes.
That's great. I remember that about your team. Maybe a few of them have changed perhaps, but I do remember you having, when I was there, a really supportive team. So
Yes.
that's so good. And we were talking yesterday that you have made friends on the job.
Yeah.
This is awesome. So
Yeah.
you were mentioning one friend in particular that you've even gone outside of work.
Yeah. Yes.
I think that's huge. And I bet you that's probably huge for mom too. Not to embarrass you or anything, Marissa, but
No.
yeah, that's pretty cool, eh, Mom?
It's been wonderful to see Marissa make friends with her co-workers.
Yeah.
Because one thing is to be able to get along with your coworkers, but the other thing is to actually make friends with them. And that is such a wonderful feeling for a parent or any other support person, caregiver, to
Yeah.
see that they are fitting in the
Yeah.
work environment in many more ways than just being a productive worker.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Just really, they're being integrated into everything there, into that workplace community. And then for you, Marissa, as well, when I think about, it's one thing, like you're saying, just to get a job, but then I think it's, people don't necessarily understand that people on the spectrum, or people with any sort of special need or disability, they still want human contact and friendships and relationships too, right? That's what we all have to, we all have
Yes.
to remember that. And so I'm so happy for you. And so probably one of my last but not least questions for you, Marissa, sort of formal, is what would you tell somebody else who might be really nervous about job searching, or getting a job, and they're really scared about it? What would you say to encourage them?
I would say, like, don't be scared. There's people to help you. All you just gotta ask for help and tell someone that you trust that you're scared of finding a job and getting a job so they can help you.
That's awesome. I love that. I love that. You're saying, yeah, it's okay. I love what you're saying, because you're saying it's okay to be scared, and
Yes.
then, and definitely talk to somebody about it, get some help, and make sure that somebody is somebody that you trust. And I think what was really important, like when I look at this whole line of things, so first mom was in place, right? And mom being the main support. And then it's sort of like mom's role to find that right person to help you, to get you into the right place. And then the idea would be that that person is then going to hand you off to the right employer. And so there was a lot of communication between your current supervisor and myself. There was conversation between the HR staff and myself, making sure that you were, and your coworkers and myself, making sure that you were always supported and that I was only an arm's length away if things were to kind of fumble. So you felt that real strong safety net, right? Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. I love those words of encouragement. So, all right. So we're just going to take it to your mom real quick here before we end. But so you were saying, Angels, that you found it really helpful to find the right support. So tell us about that. As you're starting your journey with Marissa and she starts to look for work, give us a little bit of that backstory there.
Yeah, thanks. So Marissa tried for many years to get a job. That was one of her goals. It was a definite goal. And we had different service providers. The first couple of coaches that she had, in my opinion, could have been working with her strengths rather than to try to get her to overcome her disabilities. I think it would have been more productive if they had done more coaching and if they had been more hands-on and if they perhaps would have, taken the time to know her strengths and work with her strengths. There were times when Marissa was discouraged, but I think as a caregiver and a support person, you have to normalize that situation. Everybody gets discouraged when you're looking for a job, and it may take years to get a job, but it does happen if that's a goal that you have. And Marissa has proven that. So I'm very proud that we found the right people. Marissa had a very big involvement in choosing the right person. She, after 2 or 3, she was not shy to say, this is not working out. I need to, look for somebody else that will work better with me. So at that point, she had incredible self-confidence to realize I need to keep moving on. If this is a goal of mine, I need to keep moving on. And I was just there to support her, to be positive. There's no room to be negative or jump in the bandwagon of being depressed and sad. Everybody goes through that when you're looking for a job. The thing is, she finally made it, and it was mostly her efforts. So here she is.
I love that so much. I love that. It's so incredible. And I really love, I love all the things that you're saying. Actually, there's another video that I did speaking directly again to primary caregivers that talks about the role that the primary giver plays, and that it's to encourage their person who wants to find a job. It's to also elevate their strengths and allow them to be part of the process, like you're saying, and know who to connect with. Because even I could go and meet with an employment coach right now, and I might not connect with that person. I want to find the person that I connect with, that then lifts me up and encourages me to move forward. So I am just thrilled. We are coming to the end of things here, but I am so grateful that you decided to chat with me, Marissa. Thank you so much, Angels, for joining me. And we are definitely going to look forward to following up with Marissa. That is our plan. And as soon as we're able to hire people, we look forward to having her, as I say, come to work for Plots of Love. She can have both jobs, right? She can have like 3 jobs. It's okay. Marissa's got lots of energy for it. So we thank you. And Marissa, I'm just really happy for you, and I look forward to continuing to hear about good things coming for you. All right. All right. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, so there you have it. That was Marissa Hall and her mom, Angels. Uh, I'm just really proud of Marissa and everything that she's done. And but you also see there the really great things that have come out of her story, and that if you can relate to Marissa, perhaps you are thinking about looking for work, but you're not really sure, you can do it too. So just, I encourage you to keep looking, find the right supports, get in the right place. And then if you're a primary caregiver, you also heard from Angels there, some of the things that she did that were really helpful to Marissa in the meantime. So if you want to watch more videos coming up, if you really enjoyed this content, make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell so you know when I've uploaded a new video. And remember that these videos are brought to you by Plots of Love, a cemetery gardening service in the Niagara region. And we wish you all well. Thank you.